focus on the things that we as recruiters can control, and not try and reinvent the recruiting system that you've got, not try and make big giant bets, but actually try and play small ball to see if you can incrementally improve what's going on while we figure out why job seekers are behaving the way that they are. So how can you do that? Well, the first thing that you can do is you can shorten your apply flow. So remember, we talked about apply rate. And so if you get 100 clicks and you get 5 applies, you have a 5% apply rate. And if you get 100 clicks and 10 applies, you have a 10% apply rate. What this data shows is that if you have an online application that takes less than 5 minutes, you have a 385% increase in applicant flow compared to an online application that takes more than 15. So at a very simple level, if you're finding that your applicant flow is down 30 to 40% from what you need to fill your requisitions, and you've got let's say a 10 to 15 minute apply process, if you could find a way to get that to less than 5 minutes, you could make up almost all of your gap without spending a single dollar. So this is the most powerful, simplest way to increase candidate in a competitive environment, is to focus on what you can control, specifically your apply rates. The other thing that you can really do is you can pay attention to your job titles. Job titles are how job sites index your jobs and kind of in many ways decide what jobs to show. And so this is Appcast research that shows the shorter the job title, the more clicks you get per job. And the shorter the job title, the higher conversion rate you get on those jobs. And the reason being is, instead of using the phrase like sandwich or artist, if you used cashier or you used cook, those are terms that people understand and job search engines understand. And when people understand something, whether it's people or technology, it tends to work better. So short titles that are descriptive can, compared to, let's say, long, complex or off kilter titles, can also increase applicant flow anywhere from 5 to 35%. Both of these ideas, as well as really great benchmark data, can be found for free in the Appcast benchmark report. Go to appcast.io, click on the resources tab. There's going to be a purple box in the lower right-hand corner, and get the report. We'll also make sure that we send a link out to everybody in our follow-up email so that you can do it. This is super valuable because in the benchmark report, we also show you what by function and by industry, what the average apply rates are. So if you can get that from your applicant tracking system, or if you use Appcast technology, it tells you right there what your apply rate is. You can compare that to the industry average. And if you find that you've got a lower apply rate than the industry, you can start up a conversation with us or with your recruitment marketing partner and talk about how you can improve it. So there's that. The other way to solve this problem is to consider casting a wider net. So if you're finding that you aren't getting enough applicants on your jobs because it's just more competitive out there, most mid and large size companies historically have purchased their recruitment advertising from 2 to 4 different job sites. If I was to be candid, most people have a subscription and jobs on LinkedIn. Most people subscribe and buy ads on Indeed. And then, depending on if your needs were diversity or if your needs were, something else, you might have a niche site or two. Maybe you've got, Zip or Career Builder or Monster. And then that was it. And then kind of that was your mix for the year. Appcast operates differently. First off, it's an on-demand system. There's no long-term contracts, but what you do is we pull your jobs off your applicant tracking system. We allow you to organize them into campaigns and tell us which jobs are important. And then you put your budget into the top of the machine, and you only pay, when an applicant actually applies all the way through your career site. But the cool thing about it is that it goes everywhere, except for Indeed. So Indeed isn't in our ad exchange, but this is kind of a mutual fund for job sites. Rather than having to pick one, we use the billions and billions and billions of clicks and applies and impressions that we track every single day to find, we look at your job and we know where those job seekers live, work, and play online. And we take your ad and we go put it in front of those job seekers so that not only can we drive more volume for your hard to fill jobs or your high volume jobs, we also can deliver great quality candidates as well. And the other neat thing about using a programmatic ad exchange like Appcast is a wide net for underrepresented communities, and for military recruiting. It's got a huge reach, and it pays out in that if you take this is internal Appcast research. We instrumented our ad exchange and found that the traffic that Appcast delivers oversamples for people of color compared to the internet average by 23%, and oversamples for women compared to the internet average by 7%. And so not only do you cast a wide net, but you get a diverse wide net as well.